And we are back um, on the live scene. Um, you see the tape that's surrounding this area. Sorry about that. So this is the scene that we are at today. We are at Bob's Mini Mart. At least that's what it was when I was younger. You see the yellow tape, which normally is a sign of something that's not very good. You see the police; they have the entire area blocked off. From my understanding, and we'll get more information. But you see the police officers looking around. Uh, Earlier, they were walking around, looking around. Looks like they're looking for evidence, possibly from the reports that I'm getting. That I didn't do that, but it's possible that um, there has been a shooting, and from what I'm understanding, there is a gentleman who may be in the store, uh, and that gentleman you see there, there's the owner right there. That's coming out. You see the dog right there. I guess the dog messed around with the yellow tape, so you see the officers right there. But from what I'm understanding, that the rider of this motorcycle, if anybody knows the rider of this vehicle, it was told to somebody who was at the scene. There you see the police getting there. It was told to somebody at the scene that the rider of this vehicle may have been, the one who's the victim of a shooting. So if anybody knows the rider of this, I think that's a Suzuki, you may want to check on his whereabouts, either, call the phone or what have you. But from my understanding, and the individual told me that the incident happened further down the street, down Slocum Street. Apparently, from the reports I'm getting, that the rider of the bicycle. So there you see right there. See the police. Most of the times you see those little yellow things right there. Those are evidence markers. So evidently the police may be picking up shell casings. You see some more further down in the street right there. There's another one. So that may be where bullets may have been dislodged, or shell casings may have been dislodged from a firearm. But as you can see, they have the whole entire street blocked off. There's no people trying to get through, but nobody can get through. You see people turning around. People are driving through this field right here on Harold Street and turning around. So evidently, this is definitely a serious situation where, um, you know, police have got the whole street cordoned off and want to walk right up just that. So there you see more shell or evidence markers further down the street. So it looks like whatever they're looking for, whatever happened, may have happened right there. If anybody knows anything about crime scenes, those yellow markers that we see there, I don't know which officer this is, but um, there's yellow markers all in the street. Wow, there's a plethora yellow markers in the street. So you got one, you got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You can actually see all the way down the street. So I'm not sure by the looks of it whether it's multiple uh, guns that may have been fired. I don't want to get too close because I don't want them bothering me. But there you see the yellow markers all on the ground. You see the police officers pointing to those things. So they are, I mean, it's so many of those yellow evidence markers on the street. I think they have some numbers. So there's 14 and 15 right here. So there may have been a total of 15 rounds fired. And by the looks of the numbers, they're probably going in order where the first shots may have been fired. And so if it's just a normal shooting where no one is injured, then, you may not see all of this, all this yellow tape. So evidently, actually, okay, so there you see right there. Now, we didn't see these. So this is number 19, 15. So you actually see evidence markers right there by the entrance of the store. And once again, this is Slocum Mini Mart, but everybody in town knows it as Bob's. So you see about, those are more shots, like almost right by the door. So, the story that I'm getting is the gentleman that was on this bike right here may have ran into the store. But you see bullets, and 9 times out of 10 from a crime scene of this nature and the way they're spread out, those are possible shell casings or bullets. They're probably going to be shell casings. But as you see down the street, there are a plethora, a multitude of yellow evidence markers all the way down. I don't want to get too close to this police car because I don't want to interfere with the investigation, but I'm outside of the yellow tape, so I guess I'm operating in accordance with all of the law. There you see, there's 1, 2, there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then you see, I guess that's 15 and 16 and 17. So evidently some shots were fired right by the door. There you see the owner, and you may ride by this. I know a lot of times I ride by this place, and there's sometimes a group of young men who may be loitering at the store, for lack of a better word. But hopefully this does not look like what it seems to be. But it's 10 o'clock in the morning. It's 11 o'clock in the morning, and there's a crime scene that does not look like it be okay. So I'm getting reports from the comments. I don't know if you guys can see the comments as well. There's a car at the hospital with yellow police tape and bullet holes in the car. So this may be somewhat relation to it. Maybe there was, and in fact, a shootout at 934 on 531 GPD was dispatched to a shooting call in the area of Slocum Street and Harold Street. And that's where we are at right now. We're at Slocum Street and Harold Street. And per caller, AC Dad just did a drive-by shooting. According to the caller, the vehicle was occupied. So, thank you, Morning Muddy Ducks, man, for your commentary. 4 times someone got out of the vehicle and started shooting, and so maybe that is where the vehicle stopped. A male victim was shot in the face and was transported by private vehicle to Wayne UNC per radio traffic. The vehicle on the scene at the hospital has a number of bullet holes in the vehicle per radio. So this may be some clarification to the scene. There's reports of a vehicle who was reported to be traveling on Slocum Street, evidently from look at the marks. They're actually marking those things, and actually way down the street. I don't know if you guys can see it, but way down the street there's another yellow evidence marker, which indicates once again more gunfire, possibly being emitted. So if this information from Muddy Ducks is correct, then maybe the individual that is reported to have been on that bike was able to, I guess, return fire to the vehicle, because if someone was transported by a private vehicle, that may be the vehicle that was involved in the drive-by, and then that vehicle was able to take the occupants who may have been struck in the face to the hospital. And if that's the case, hopefully the information that I got earlier was not correct, that there is a possible deceased body. What's going on with you, bro? All right, so there may be a possible, hopefully there's not a possible deceased individual in the store that was the recipients or of those other gunshots that were fired from the car. So I definitely appreciate that, Muddy Ducks, for some clarification. So there is one injury that has been confirmed by the dispatch, according to this individual, that an individual was shot in the face. And so someone got out of the vehicle and started shooting. A male victim was shot in the face and transported by private vehicle to Wayne UNC per radio traffic. The vehicle on the scene at the hospital has a number of bullet holes per radio traffic. So there's still not a lot of clarification, because there's so many, there's so many variables just by that information. But we definitely know that someone has been shot. We definitely know there was a lot of bullets being fired, at least 17 or 18. And it just amazes me sometimes when I do see, a lot of young men walking around. It's actually funny. I was in somewhere getting some food, and I seen a young man come in with the gun on his hip and the long extended clip. He was just doing DoorDash though, so maybe he just had his for protection. But anytime, when you have guns around and there is no ability to resolve conflict, there's no ability to mediate or use logic in situations that are sometimes tense, you always have a possibility or an opportunity for things like this to happen, especially when, people are not, able to communicate properly and avoid conflict. Evidently, this was maybe an ongoing conflict. If there's a drive by. Um, but you hear, see someone, asking, is it a homicide? But you see that the police and further down there is where we have the after school program at down there, but they are not letting people in. If you do have to go out, you can go through this um, grass area like a lot of cars are doing, and then you're just gonna have to drive through. You see, they're not letting anyone, and of course, they don't supposed to let anyone in because there are a lot of bullets in the street. So that is to protect the uh, sanctity of evidence from the crime scene. But once again, if I don't know, once again, maybe it is that gentleman who was reportedly shot in the face by Muddy Ducks, or maybe he is the individual that was reported to me upon arriving on the scene that is in the store. Once again, there you see the store owner. And I don't even know his name. Of course, we know the majority of the store owners in our community are, of a foreign nature. So, and to be honest with ourselves, we all know what kind of activity goes on at these corner stores. Not saying that this was a result of that, but anytime you have young men, sitting around idle, as I was one time. So, this is not a passing blame or anything. Sitting around idle, and, just hanging around, and not with not really no motivation, no goals. Then, if you add guns to the mix, if you add a few dollars to the mix, if you add, some substances to the mix, in a petty beef, then as we see, all throughout, time. I was about to say last year, but this has been going on for decades. In communities, not just here, but communities all over America, where we, just engage in useless violence and senseless violence, where we just, I don't know, man. I don't know how, we can just wake up every day with so much anger and hatred. Of course, it got a lot of it got a lot to do with the spirit. Like the Bible says, my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray, turn from their wicked ways and seek my face. Then I will hear from heaven and heal the land. So we definitely got a lot to do as a people. To turn back from some of the ways that we have learned in this nation of America, and turn back to some of the tenets that we used to practice. Like my mother was talking about her coming up in the '60s, and she actually stayed right down there in Seymour Johnson Homes. And she was talking about even when they moved out there, there was still a lot of fathers in the home. There was a lot of two-parent households, and no matter how much we try to discount that fact, that there's definitely a sense of order when you have two people in the house, but not to give you a whole uh, social commentary, but I am I know we all are tired of seeing these scenes every other week. I think and rest in peace to my guy Ty. That his death didn't get a lot of publicity, but I know Ty. My condolences to the Dunn family and things. I think he lost his life right on Slocum Street, a little further down, uh, and that's just another. Are you talking about Ty? Ty was your friend. Yeah, Ty was very, very cool, man. I never had any problems with him. Used to, be in some certain areas with him back in the day when I was running around here. So, but I never known him to, do anything, to my knowledge, to warrant, someone taking his life in that manner. And I don't think that anybody has been arrested in that death as well. So, so once again, still people are still trying to get through. There you see a delivery truck trying to get to the base. You have people probably trying to, go back and forth to work. And, so this, we think that this just affects the individuals involved, but it affects the whole community, man. So, while we look down and try to condemn, some of the youth when we see them out there, hanging out, doing whatever we're doing. This, why not stop, and try to give them a word of encouragement, try to plant a seed in them, and give them some knowledge and wisdom, and maybe even take them under your wing. You never know what type of talents that these young men have. Instead of trying to go to work and you seeing a scene with 20 something bullets that have been fired on the scene, and a possible death. Like I said, one gentleman was shot in the face. Lord willing, he will survive and make it through this. And he is an artist, Master Entertainment. Okay, I don't know what you mean, Master VB's Entertainment. He's an artist. Something is affecting the atmosphere. This can't be real. So evidently, Master V, the individual who, may have been involved. He said he's an artist. That's what I'm saying. Like so many people, we have so many people with talents in this small city, yet and still it is, it is stagnated when we don't have the proper guidance and we don't have the proper tools. I hate to say education because some of the things that they teach us in school, are less than education. But I would say the right tutelage, the right guidance, the right information, the right knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, as my man Roger Blunt would say. That we are in a system that is not conducive to who we are, who we were. Can't even say who we are because we've taken on some of the characteristics and the traits of money over everything, or getting money at all costs, and putting money over the sanctity of life. Whatever this situation is, whatever this situation has stemmed from, I'm pretty sure that the individuals involved would take it back, if they had the opportunity. There's nothing, and I've been in some situations in my life where I was sitting in the jail cell and I'm like, man, the only thing I had to do was go home and go to work, or whatever the case may be. Dang, I wish I shouldn't have did that. Now I'm facing this exorbitant amount of time. And I could, then you start when that door closed and those keys lock and they shut that gate behind you. In the when you driving through that Sally Port and they waiting for the gate to open, and then you go in that gate and you daggone they close that gate behind you. You get out that car, and you walking in that building, and the officers waiting for them to open the door, and you walk in that building and they take the cuffs off and they put you in that cell. And then you start thinking, dang, man, I could have just stayed in the house. You know what I'm saying? Why did I have to come out? Why did I have to take that ride? You know what I'm saying? Why I had to have that gun on me? You know what I'm saying? Why didn't I stop, trying to make fast money? All those decisions that we make on a daily basis will contribute to, either a successful life or a life where, you're either in the hospital with bullets in your face, or, you in a jail cell. No matter the outcome of the situation, somebody, Goldsboro, it's kind of hard to say this, but no matter the situation, sometimes there has to be a penalty for these actions. So if somebody is unfortunately injured, or more unfortunately dies, then that means somebody else has to go to jail. So those are two lives that are ruined forever. So we must consider our actions on a daily basis, especially in our youth, man. And even in our mid or old age, man. We got to consider also how that we can get involved. Yeah, Bob's is still right there, man. So evidently, Bruce Fane, there was a shooting. As you see, there's like 20 something bullets that have been fired, and as you see right there, there's another 3 or 4 that were fired from this location. So, from all information that I'm getting, that there has been a shootout. One individual may, now don't quote me on this, the individual who was a target, I would say, I'm not going to say a victim as of yet, I'm going to say a target, was reportedly riding this motorcycle. And from what I'm getting, that there was another car who came in the street, and some gunfire may have been exchanged. I don't know, but we definitely know that guns were fired, and this is a and there's some articles, officers once again doing their investigation. Um, These are pain can't go away, but sometimes it's messed up. Resolve that problem with communication, not therefore. And that's right, man. We gotta learn how to resolve these problems, man, and issues, because it's not only these two individuals that's involved. There's families, there's children, there's mothers, there's cousins, there's uncles, there's brothers. Man, um, and I began to realize that later in my life, that every time I went to jail, it wasn't just me, and it really came to fruition in my 30s when I had my daughter. And she asked me one day, and she was only 3 years old, like, "Daddy, are you getting out of the jail today?" And that's when I began to realize, like, my actions not only affect me, it affects a lot of um people that's around me. So, even in, we think that, we are all to ourselves. Even the old saying goes that no man is an island. We all have people who depend on us, people who want to see us live and thrive and survive. And so when incidents like this happen, most of them don't even know their generation, don't even know their generation. Yeah, man. And that's one thing, like I said, about the education system. Like, we were taught that we were only slaves and savages in Africa. And when that's really the only thing you're taught, unless you do your own knowledge, then that's what you're going to begin to emulate. We were never taught the greatness of ourselves. And that's one thing about the education system that is kind of one sided, where every great achievement didn't come from a black person. But nevertheless, that's no reason to continue it. Now that we know that we have knowledge that some things that we have been taught were not true. We were not the lowest of the low. Like my mom was telling me, like, just in the 60s, she remember her mother working for the Farfors, and she said her mother, they would drop her mother off in the back seat. And even in the 60s, man, and my mother asked her why. She said black people can't ride in the front. And those mentalities, that sense of inferiority is passed down. And so we wonder why. I mean, it's almost innate that we look at each other in a less than inferior manner, because that's what have been passed out to us through generation. So now we must teach the youth that to value their life. So that is, and if not, once again, you get scenes like this, where possibly two, maybe even more lives are affected forever in a negative manner. And we see you know the authorities out here, for lack of a better word, he probably didn't have a dad growing up. Most hairhead kids don't. I don't know what that means, sir, but I think you're trying to be a little, a little condescending. But this is something that stems from a lot of issues. Like I said, I don't know each individual situation. So, but I know that what I spoke on is because y'all been doing it to each other since the old days, the Ashanti tribe, so most other Africans, to the Muslims. Okay, well, once again, that's part of history that neither of us know. We were just told those things. So, unless you were there and seen it, because of course we've seen in history books where many lies have been told, and things haven't been confirmed. So, that there are certain narratives out there that we just don't know. But what we do know is today we have an opportunity to make a change. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So if we continue to do these things, then we're going to continue to fall down this path, and then what are our children going to do? And it may be. One time I remember that some of my classmates who were in the streets at 20, and then 20 years later, when I look in the paper, I see their children in the paper. So there's a generational thing with it as well. Where we have to be cognizant of how our actions. Okay, thank you for the super chat. Well, I appreciate that. Wow, that's my first super chat. But she said they don't want people to know how great people themselves are. They want complacency and separation. Keep spreading wisdom and love. Godspeed, my brother. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate the super chat too, man. Thank you. Be honest with them about the police, that people hurt them. Once again, what's going on? There has been a shooting here on the corner of Slocum and Harold. We all know that Bob's market here, but apparently there was a drive-by, and someone was apparently transported to the hospital in a car full of bullet holes. And one individual, I think that they mentioned that they were shot in the face, and then we have this individual that was reportedly riding this bike, and was reported to me that the individual may have ran inside the store trying to take cover. There is no ambulance, so that's still not really telling, because now this is in Goldsboro, North Carolina. Keep digging 7. Goldsboro, little small town. There's a lot of bunch of the small towns that are just as bad, per capita, I would say, as Chicago. So did you get any confirmation on if someone was in the store? You might have to wire the band the troll. Well, now we got it. We'll keep the trolls here because and I get that too. Yeah, but we got to we definitely got to watch it. But sometimes when you see the trolls, you're able to realize what you're up against too. So like the Bible said, you let the weeds and the tares grow together, and then at the end, they'll be separated. So, but yeah, so this is what I'm having. I have nothing to live for than eating bread and other things. So, just so I know I'm surviving. That's it. The struggle my people go through. But yeah, so man, so for people that's asking what's happened, once again, reportedly the rider of this motorcycle was apparently involved in a shootout, or the target of gunfire. And apparently, if someone told me that, that person may be in the store. So we have people pulling up and to see. And like I said, if anybody knows the individual who um, was riding the car, and so that may be. Is somebody in the store? Yeah, okay. I didn't expect to get a straightforward answer from them, but we do have some people pulling up. I don't know if they are just relatives or um, just inquisitive people. But the officer, of course, he wouldn't give me any information on the situation, and so and evidently she's not a relative because she's a little bit laughing and giggling. So, but like I mentioned earlier, if anybody knows the person who, if this bicycle is familiar to you, please advise, or check on, your family, and my thoughts and prayers, hopefully that they are, well and safe. But this is just an unfortunate situation that happens on a nice, pretty day like this, May 31st, where you have a neighborhood store, a neighborhood too. Now, this is a predominantly, I hate to use the word black, but this is predominantly black area. We have houses, residential houses that are down the street here. Everybody knows this area. Then also we have more black residences down there. So um, it's just sad to see where it's a possible um, danger. And like I said, like people can't even go to work. People can't even get where they're going, whether they're trying to get to the base, whether they're trying to leave the base, whether they're trying to get home, if they stay further down the road, or whether they're trying to leave from home. This incidents like this just affect me more than the individuals involved. They need to close that store down. It's always something going on, and that's a good point as well. But and a lot of them, really need to close down, in my opinion, because the only thing they do is sell what? Liquor, beer, cigars, cigarettes, lotto, and bad food. Bad food, non-nutrition food. It's almost like a food desert, and I wanted to, I really actually wanted to do this one time before, but if you look down the street, there's one church, there's one church, there's another church. If you look further down, right beside this church, there's another church, and then you go further down, there's another church, and you go down further, there's about 3 or 4 or 5 churches, and in about actually it's about 7, 10 churches on this one street before you get to Bunch Drive, if I'm not mistaken. And I was just wondering, okay, well, somebody built this church, and I wonder why the person right there said, okay, well, what can go here? Oh, I know what. Not a grocery store, not a learning center, not a not a medical center. Oh, I know what. Another church. And that's not no knock on the church, but it's like what are we doing as the church? We're just putting buildings up, or are we really really making a difference out here where it needs to be? And this, once again, no knock on the church. I know churches do all they can, but it's it was just mindful to me, once again, that there were the officers right there picking up bullets. It was just mindful to me. And like you said, most of them are Arab stores selling fried food and loose cigarettes and cheap wine. It's not economical. Well, yeah, like any it's always economical, because anytime people are deprived or unable to get resources for whatever reason, then they commit crime. You think of the Italian mafia. Back in, the 30s, 40s, the Italians were subjugated in the ghettos, and what did they do? They committed crime against each other to get money. Same thing with the Irish gangs, and anybody who's deprived of resources and are unable to get resources, they're going to resort to crime. That area needs jobs. Yeah, definitely. There's not a lot of jobs. You have of course, the factory jobs, the plants. Um, the city jobs and things like that, which are very, very good jobs. But if you are an ambitious individual like myself, like that's why, I would work, in the pickle plants and the chicken plants and the turkey plants. I worked at all of them. I worked at the bakery. I think the longest I worked was the bakery for a year. But it just seemed like I could do much more, and those jobs were great jobs, great money, great made, decent money. But if you're a young man without ambition, you kind of feel trapped in those jobs. So, Goldsboro is an area. These niggas love prison life. So money, the benefits lead back to that type of levels. I love 95. I don't like fast money. Definitely. I'm enjoying, getting, slow money every day, every week. I would go out and sell my books in Walmart parking lots for like 2 years straight. And I would sell my books for $20 a book. And at the end of the day, I would be done sold 25 books, 20 books, 15 on a bad day, 25 to 30, 40 on a good day. And I would come home at the end of the week and I'd have made $4,000 going out every day. And so that's what really got me to like, I will never work for anybody again. But you have to have, once again, you have to have a talent. You have to have a gift. God has blessed you. So that's why I like to, kind of show young people, because there is a allure of the fast money. There is a lure of, that lifestyle. There is an allure of, being connected, being, respected, being, being looked up to in that lifestyle. But there's also a consequence to that lifestyle, and we are looking at the consequences of that lifestyle. There's no right way to be a gangster. You know what I'm saying? Like Scarface said in the song, Igga don't believe that song. That Igga's wrong. Gangsters don't live that long. You know, or all the real gangsters I've heard it said are either dead or in jail. You know, and so there has to be a reckoning of the consequences of your actions. Um, so that you will see the end road. Like you can work at McDonald's for 20 years, be a manager, start your own franchise, or you can get out here and make fast money and live good for 3 years, and then get popped. Either way, either get popped going to jail or get popped, where you don't make it out. You end up in a chair, or you end up that, and that's one of the worst things, where you still have to live with the consequences of your decision. You don't get the easy way out. So evidently the police looks like they are dispersing. They've collected all of the evidence. So apparently, thank God that there isn't a body that is in the store. Well, once again, there was a shooting, as you see. Actually, because they haven't picked those things up yet. So there's actually shots fired by the door. So once again, reportedly, this individual, once again, that was on the bicycle, was reportedly the target of gunfire of a drive-by, and you just missed them pick. See, I'm not sure. That's something I do not know. From the looks of things, like if bullets were in the street over here and then bullets were right there, then it would seem that the person on the motorcycle, which is right there, was doing the shooting. However, it is reported in an earlier comment where an individual got outside of the car and approached and started shooting as well. So I don't know if that individual ran up to the guy and maybe he, got popped and hopped back in the car and was transported to the hospital. But we just don't know, man. And every, I guess when the police put out their official report, I I'm not sure. I don't know. At first, at first when I first pulled up, the lady told me that there was reportedly someone in the store who, you know, was maybe deceased, but I can't confirm that. I should try to go in. And I don't even think they probably mess with me. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't. They already kicked me out of Carver Heights School this morning for going to advocate for a parent. So I don't want to get kicked out of another place. I should have said I've been kicked out of better places than this to that sheriff. But I wanted to keep it light. But we don't know if it'll be full in the parking lot as soon as the law leaves. Give it about 3 to 4 hours, and that's the sad thing too. And it's amazing too, because I don't even want to say it, but I gotta say it. You know what I'm saying? And people can take it how they want to. I'm not. This is just me thinking logically. There's an individual who passed in a house, last month or sometimes, and then you ride by the house and it seemed like nobody died there. I'm gonna just say that. So, but it's amazing that we'll continue. Oh, now I ain't gonna cross the tape. I ain't gonna continue. So you're not on camera, right? You're not on camera, right? But did you ever confirm that somebody was in there? But somebody is in there? It's confirmed that somebody's in there. Nah, well, if it's deceased, they'll wait a while and get all the evidence first before they move the body. You know what I'm saying? Do the investigation. So, but the person told me that the guy probably ran in there from the bicycle. Because somebody just said on this thing that a car arrived at the hospital with bullet holes on it, and it got yellow tape around it. Apparently somebody was shot in the face and transported to the hospital. So I was thinking, well, maybe that was the person. They said a car drive-by shooting. Car pulled up. Some people got out of the car, and then they started shooting. So I'm thinking that whoever that was, you see the bullets that were fired from right there. So I'm thinking whoever that was fired back and may have hit them too. So once again, I do once again just on Facebook, the Goldsboro Scanner page says something about Dixie Trail. Could there be? No, this is it. This is Dixie Trail. Like, this is Dixie Trail turns into Harold Street. So this is the same location. Dixie Trail turns into Harold Street. So apparently that there is still an individual who may be in that store, possibly deceased. So prayers going out if that is the case. Once again, I can't confirm it. You just heard me, just ask of it, but someone who stays close to the area and who was, originally first on the scene, seemed to get some, first-hand information from possible witnesses that, that may be the case, or there may be a deceased body in this store, which is, been here for ages. I remember I used to stop to the store, when I was in high school, and catch somebody out here and cop my little trees and stuff. Or, sometimes I even post up at the corner store, and then, people always stop. Once again, I don't know why we made the corner stores our de facto place of business. I guess because, that's where the traffic is. But hopefully someone else will, be able to give us more clarification, on this. Definitely the police are not really saying anything to me to give me any indication of what's going on. Look at my man over here cutting the grass, and he just tearing up the yellow tape. He got the yellow tape all around. He done knocked the yellow tape down, so maybe I can slide on through. But of course I won't, and I ain't trying to be the recipient any unwanted, yeah. So there you see him again. So he's once again evidently they're moving closer to the store. You can see actually, gunshots or shell casings. I doubt there are bullets because if bullets are flying, they're just not going to land right there. So those are possibly shell casing, and you can see one right in like right by the door. So and then you see the officer right there. He's I guess he's doing this. Yeah, look at him. He mad because my man messed up the tape. You know what I'm saying? The man cut the tape off, so they got to come out and do a little bit more taping. Um, Now, I think this is the same shooting though. Anne Marie, I think that's your name. Yeah, I think this is the same shooter. So there you go. Um, with the officer, just checking his paperwork or what have you. But yeah, man, this is a situation that once again would happen right by a church, right by houses. Any of the bullets could have hit any of the houses to the back of this store. See, I'm actually across the tape right now. Are you a cop? Please tell me. I don't know, talking to me or somebody in the comments. But yeah, you see houses back there. You see by the trajectory of those shell casings, if they were going that way, they were in danger of hitting, some innocent bystanders' house. So I'm going to go ahead and end this live. I think once again they're not going to give me any information. Hold on, wait a minute. There's the officer right there. He's looking. He's checking out the motorcycle. So apparently that motorcycle was. Can you get around by Harold Street? Yeah, you can actually. If you're trying to get out, you can go to the church. Go to the Church of Christ field. Everybody's been driving through that field. Oh no, actually, the road is back open. So they've opened up the road again, so you can go ahead and get back around. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can walk around and talk to my man real quick, get some information before we go. See if I can get my man to give me some information. He's not law enforcement. He's kind of standing off to the side over here. Okay, and I can actually I can get a little bit closer. So yeah, we're gonna man, oh no, they got the tape right there. So hopefully my man will give me some information. I know these two guys in the car, you know what I'm saying? They've been pretty cool. I know they ain't gonna give me no information. So we're gonna see what my man got over here. I don't know. I ain't gonna put my phone down for a minute so he won't think I'm recording. Is there a body inside? You got the strap on too. Is there a body inside? Nah, never got anything on. A long time ago. Oh, what was the guy that got hit on the motorcycle? I don't know. I was the guy here. They went up there and then somebody said two people got shot. I don't know. So what I hear like somebody rode up in the car with a bullet, and they was maybe chasing the guy on the motorcycle, and then maybe the motorcycle got fired back because it's a bullet. There's a bullet. You know what I'm saying? They was up there, blood up there all day. Oh, word. Yeah. So I don't know. But it's a conference. But there you go, where you know exactly that. Yeah. I appreciate you, man. Oh, yeah. All right, but it ain't nobody dead in this lot. Okay. All right. So we did get just So we did get some confirmation from a man. I didn't want to record him because I want to be straightforward. But that's the man. You know, he worked there. We have another lady. So we are. We have confirmed that there is no one in the store that is deceased. So that is a blessing. And according to what I kind of first ascertained is that maybe the guy that was on the bike returned fire to the car, and somebody in the car was hit. But then again, of course, if the guy's on the bike, he's not there. He may have been, you know, one who got hit as well. We don't know, as you heard the gentleman say. They say, they said one person got hit side of the face. Then they said two people got, hit. So, we'll know what's going on. Hopefully that this is it get deep. I wish MF smart up and we realized the grand scheme of things. RIP all the legends we lost. City dried up. And that's real though, man. We lost a lot of good people in these streets, as we call it. We keep glorifying. How do you glorify the death and life, the loss of life of someone, and I know if it's your brother, your cousin who may be involved, then we hollering free of not. Somebody died, no matter the consequences behind it. Somebody died. We can't let those things continue because, okay, well, shoot, you can kill somebody and get away with it. What you think you're going to do? If it wasn't for laws, and I hate laws myself, but if it wasn't for laws, there would be straight lawlessness. If it wasn't for punishment, like, shoot, if I knew I could rob a bank today, and if I get caught, I'm not going to do no time. I'll be somewhere without a mask and and a couple of drakes, But that's not the case. We gotta, is that a blockbuster? I don't know what that is. What is a blockbuster? But yeah, apparently, you know, yeah, we definitely got to do better, man. We definitely got to do better. Unfortunately, there's no one I've confirmed by the gentleman who works there. So about to end this, but I guess we'll all figure out what happens in a manner of hours. If there is any serious injuries or loss of life, I definitely offer condolences or sincere prayers. No, it's not even a grocery store; it's a corner market. Grocery stores have groceries. This store has death. Let's be honest. Most of the Arab stores, as we call it. Let's be honest. I'm 16 and I know what a blockbuster is. How do you know? Well, what is a blockbuster? You tell. Oh, he's my blockbuster tape. Like I remember, blockbuster was yellow, so I don't know. Is that a blockbuster? Oh, he's my. Is that? I don't know, man. Blockbuster. Now, fortunately, I have not gotten any word that this was a homicide. Originally, the person was on the scene when I arrived said that the person on the bicycle there ran inside the store, and she was assuming that they yeah, that's what I said, a blockbuster movie rental store. I know that. Oh, she said, oh, is the store a blockbuster? No, it's not. It's not a blockbuster. It's the corner store. I'm sorry, but so I was told that this guy ran into the store and deceased. But apparently, if he ran into the store, he may have been able to get medical attention, according to the gentleman that smoked earlier. But man, it's just a sad situation that Gold Girl is dealing with, and for some reason, as it gets hot, more of these incidents happen. But we want to pray and see if we can intervene. Now, Blockbuster doesn't exist anymore. You're right, though. See if we can intervene in these situations to prevent, further loss of life in our community, man. But peace and blessings, man. I gave all the information that I probably can have right there. To sum it up, like you said, you see the bullets still there, so they're still in. Oh, wait a minute. You see, every time I want to leave, they do something else. Maybe I should apply for the. It's definitely run down though. So I don't know what this gentleman has found, but we'll probably get a later report on this incident and get some information out to the community about what happened. But let's use this not as a spectacle. Use this as an example. Use this as a lesson to learn from. We don't want to keep saying this. We just had Memorial Day weekend, right? All of the parties and the love and the pictures and all of the camaraderie and fellowship. Long live them, the alumni. All the pictures, all the dances, and then less than a week later, we have 2 deaths, if I'm not mistaken. So there you see, I guess some of the bullets did hit the wall right there. They're investigating that. This is in Goldsboro, North Carolina, Chicago finest. That's some out of shape cops here. You funny now, that right there. I'm gonna leave that one alone, but yeah, because if they was chasing me, I'm telling you, I could jog. But see, that's why they trained to shoot now, because you don't have to be in any type of physical shape to perform that duty. So yeah, there definitely should be a health requirement, uh, because if they need to chase my assailant now, goodness gracious, it doesn't look like they will be able to do so effectively. But peace and blessings, man. I thank y'all for tuning in. Um, we're going to try to keep you updated on events through the cities. If you haven't, subscribed already, subscribe. But use this as a lesson, not a spectacle, to make some changes and see what you can do to make some changes in your community. Peace and blessings.